A warm good morning to all my dear students of Sri Gokulam Public School. This is Nida ma'am with you and I welcome you heartily to my English online class. How are my darlings doing? I hope you're all staying safe at home. If you're reading the newspapers and watching the news, I think there is still hope for us as the vaccinations are almost on the last round. Many of the countries have just started giving vaccines to the frontline workers, that is the health workers and the doctors. Hopefully we can start 2021 with a light at the end of the tunnel. I believe that we won't have to wait for long to go back to our wonderful lives that we had before 2020. So with that note, let me just begin today's class. In today's class, we are going to learn a new lesson from your textbook Moments. Lessons 8, A House is Not a Home. This is written by Zan Godiso, who is an American writer. She was born and brought up in California, and she is a contemporary writer who has written many stories which are very comforting and soothing to the souls of disoriented and distressed people. So this story, she is discussing about some problems of a teenager and how these problems are overcome by that boy. Now, my dear children, let me just look into the title of this lesson. A house is not a home. What is the difference between a house and a home? Technically speaking, if we are going by the definition, a house is defined as a place for human habitation. Habitation means a place where, or a building where a person lives. Home is also defined place where one lives permanently. So technically, if you are looking, a house and a home does not have a much difference. Both of them can be referred to a place that where human beings are residing or living, whether for a short period of time or for a long period of time. Then what does the narrator mean by saying that a house is not a home? Is there any other meanings to a house and a home other than that what we know as defined of? If you are taking it on a personal sense, we can say that a home is actually not a building. Home is a place where one feels most comfortable. A home can be a place in someone's heart, someone's thoughts. That is also a home. Now, when you say that you are going back to home or you're staying in a home, whom are you sharing your life with? Of course, a home can be a joint family or a nuclear family. You might be living with your grandparents, uncles, aunts, cousins, your parents or your siblings. At the same time, it could be a nuclear family where you're just residing with your parents and your siblings. But whether it is a joint family or a nuclear family, you find that there are so many acts of love, sharing, caring, everything being done when you're at home. And that feeling that you have, that feeling of connection, that feeling of attachment, that feeling of love and care is what you can define as home. And wherever your loved ones are, that place is your home. Now that place could be a 3-star hotel when you are going for some tour in some place with your parents. That place could be a barbecue spot in a park that you are spending with your family. It could be a waterfall. It could be beside a waterfall. It could be just sitting across a restaurant table and sharing a meal with your loved ones. Anywhere, any place where you are sharing your life with your loved ones is called as a home, because that is a place where you feel connected, where you feel loved, and where you feel very protected. So here the narrator is trying to bring out such feelings through this lesson. Now let us get into the lesson. It's a very simple story. Anyhow, I have divided it into two parts so that you can go about it in a detailed manner. So, the story starts with a teenage boy. In the beginning of the story itself is presenting to us some problems of his. He says that he has just completed his junior school, and in his junior school he was the head of the school, so he had almost all the privileges of that of a senior. He was very famous, he was very much in connection with all the children and the teachers over there, and now he has to leave that school and join a high school. He feels very discomfort over there because he is new to that place and he has made no friends. So often he would go back to his old school and share his feelings of missing and pain with his teachers. So the boy's teachers used to comfort him by telling that he would take a little time to settle down in his new school and he would definitely make more friends over there. His teachers also used to tell him that whenever he has settled in his new school, he should definitely come back and show the same affection and love for his old teachers and meet them often. The child, even though he did not understand the practicability of these words, yet he tried to find comfort in those words. Now, one Sunday afternoon, he was sitting on the dining table with his cat doing his homework. His cat was a red tabby cat and he had rescued this cat from some place. So the cat had believed that the boy is the sole responsible person for taking care of it. So the cat was lying on the top of the table and it was with his paws was trying to hit on the pen that the narrator was writing with, playing with the boy. At the same time, the mother of the child, the mother of this teenage boy, there was attending to the fireplace. It was a winter time, so there was fire lit on the fireplace and this mother was attending to the fire. At this moment, what happens is that they notice a lot of smoke in the house and immediately they run out from the house and much to their shock, they find that the roof of the house has got into fire. So, as they watch the fire consuming the house, suddenly the boy's mother runs into the house and gets a metal box full of important documents and she puts it onto the lawn. Lawn means the garden. So she puts it onto the lawn. Then the fire was now becoming more and was increasing more, but the mother just runs into the house, this time to collect the letters and the pictures of the boy's father who had passed away when he was a very young boy. The boy tries to run behind his mother to save her from the fire, but immediately he is stopped by two strong arms. It is then he notices that the entire street has been filled with the fire trucks. It was a fireman who had tried to stop him and he started to scream by saying that his mother has gone inside the house. But the strength of that fireman's arms made him understand that it is no use trying to struggle or break away from the man because he will not be able to do it. Immediately he was taken to the fireman's truck and he was made to sit over there. The fireman consoled him by saying that he needn't worry, somebody will go and help his mother. Soon his mother was brought into the truck. She was covered with a blanket and she was brought into the truck and oxygen mask was placed on her. The boy just ran and hugged his mother and he says that at that moment The moment when he realized that he might lose his mother, he had immediately forgotten all the arguments that he had with his mother. Definitely, children, when you are into teenage, there is much conflicts between your parents and you, and most of the times as you're growing into adulthood, you almost have a feeling that you can survive without your parents. The most common dialogue that we all of us as teenagers say in a house is that I know how to do my things alone. That is a method that you are trying to establish yourself, your identity as an adult, which is not at all a wrong thing because it is a process of growing up. But here the child says that even though he also had that similar kind of feeling, the moment when he realized that he's going to lose his mother, he had felt a great pain and fear. Later, the mother and the son saw their entire house burning down. It took 5 hours for the firemen to bring down the fire. By then, the entire house was burned down and there was nothing for them to get back. And then another shocking thought comes to the boy. Where is his cat? He had realized that all throughout these hours, in that frantic rush to escape from the fire and in the pain of seeing the house being burnt down, he had almost forgotten that he had a cat. He felt a great loss. He wanted to go inside and search for his cat, as still it was dangerous for them to go. He had to go back. He was not allowed to go inside. He felt a great depression. He had just moved from his junior school to new school. That entire place was very discomforting for him. He had lost his old friends. He had no new friends. His home, his house, that has been burned down. Now the only thing that he felt very close and attached to, his cat, he had lost his cat also. He felt like the entire world was broken in front of him. He cried for many hours. Later, he had to move along with his mother to his grandparents' house with only having some blankets provided by the firemen. From the next day onwards, he has to start anew and continue living his life. He felt a great pain inside him. Now, my children, just think about the loss and the pain that child is going through. Will he be able to overcome this pain and problems? We will know more about this in our next class. So, read your textbook thoroughly and study very well. The notes of this lesson is given. Write down the notes and attempt your test paper. Till we meet again in the next class, this is farewell from Nida ma'am. Have a wonderful day and be good children. Thank you.